The ones that they use are not handmade. So you might have to make your rake before you could go to work in those fields. They find that pretty amazing. Now, the garden hoe, they probably didn't have one that had a blade that said made in China, but it was pretty, a lot more basic perhaps than ours. And you can see this is just, the head is just nailed into the handle. So we have an area where there's some mulch down by where we have this program for students, and they get a chance to hands-on use the rakes and the garden hose in that mulch. So the indigo is, the leaves are stripped off, and then they are set to soak in these vats. And you also will see that there's some paddles here. So while they're soaking, basically there is some ammonia that's added into that, along with some other additives, I don't know what that word means. And then somebody has to, every so often, stir that plant material so that it will kind of rot down to a goo and settle to the bottom of that vat. You know when you have flowers that you forget to change the water in, and how gooey and gummy yes, and stinky the bottoms of those stems get? Well, that's what they're looking to happen to that indigo. Where do you think they got the ammonia? We have science teachers, or we also just
I'm thinking urine.
Yes, so let's try to imagine how rotting plant material with human urine in the hot sun being stirred. What a great job.
Do you have any indigo plants on?
We have one that is sort of struggling along over by our education office. If we have a minute, all right, so the indigo and the rice produce huge profits, but they are both very, very labor intensive. The British certainly are not going to pay the bounty that they had previously been paid. Because why would the British government and the Spanish government, the French government did too, why would those governments be willing to pay people in the colonies to grow indigo? What do those governments need with blue dye? Uniform. Well, how about the British? Don't we usually call them the redcoats? What are they doing with blue dye?
Making red.
Possibly. Possibly.
It could be the textile industry.
It could be. Who had the biggest navy in the world then? Navy blue. The little light bulbs come on. So we have the red coats, and they were dyed with madder root, because that was really, really cheap. And the naval uniforms were with indigo. But the British said, we're not paying those upstart colonists that just declared themselves independent. We're not going to pay them to grow our indigo. We'll just get it someplace else. So there was still a demand for indigo, but